in the ICC World Cup 2011. A common factor between all the three hosts of the event, an elephant is a perfect choice as a mascot. This one will be called Stumpy though, following ICC's online competition for naming the mascot. The christening of the mascot marks the countdown for the mega event. All the participating teams have already set sights on the tournament, and the big names of India and Sri Lanka are looking forward to the cricket carnival on their home turf.
I think the players themselves realize, with the publicity surrounding this particular event, the responsibility upon them to make sure that they represent their countries, they represent the sport of cricket itself to the best of their abilities, and to understand what a privilege it is to play in front of millions and billions of people who call your name and cheer for you.
This is a great opportunity for Asia, the continent, to make this a memorable World Cup. And all of us present here, and also the players, the remaining players, people from Sri Lanka, India and Bangladesh, I think it becomes their responsibility to make this a grand event.
Like these players, Stumpy the mascot symbolizes determination and enthusiasm. He's young and proud and believes in hard work. And like a true cricket fan in the subcontinent, Stumpy worships his cricket heroes and dreams of playing in the ICC World Cup one day.
Well, that Stumpy is a big boy. Of course, the World Cup returns to the subcontinent, 15 years after it was last played. It's going to be a massive event, and we all look forward to it. Let's check with our guests as well. Sanath, you first. Sri Lanka's chances, a lot of home matches as well, that helps.
Definitely it's going to help, like we are talking about the wickets and the test match.
Polonoid is going to be in business.
Polonoid is going to be the curator. So I think it's going to be more advantage for the home team always. So even though more advantage, we need to play good cricket. We need to bat well, bowl well, field well to win a match. At least two departments have to do well. So I think a lot of responsibility for the squad is going to be play for this World Cup, and I hope Sri Lanka will do a memorable one for like 1996, and also with 2000.
Fabulous memory, huh?
Yeah, 2011 also going to be a memorable one.
Yeah, lots of pressure though, Rohan, on India as well, because I'm sure the fans and the media are just, they'll expect nothing but the trophy.
Plus, it's Sachin Tendulkar's last World Cup.
Wow.
So, he'll want to go out as a winner, because that's the one tournament he hasn't won, that's the one medal he hasn't got. So, and it's about time India won another 50-over World Cup. I mean, it's been...
It doesn't work like that, though.
No, it doesn't work, but it's, for the number one team in the world at the moment, according to the ICC rankings,
which you follow, of course, very closely.
Very closely.
Understand.
And a very good side, young side, which has been together for a long time. So it's youthful and experienced, and that's a good combination to have. So I think it's going to be a big World Cup for India, for Sri Lanka, and it's going to be something to really look forward to.
Well, you mentioned that it's a young squad and so on and so forth. Of course, there could be changes between now and then. What we try and do is very quickly flash the India one-day international squad for the moment. That's only for the Micromax Cup. But take a look down that, Rohan, and tell us where you feel there are still some holes which may be plugged with different personnel by the time the World Cup comes around.
Well, by the time the World Cup comes around, there could be a completely different squad. You've got Sachin Tendulkar who will come in. You've got Gautam Gambhir, Zaheer Khan, Harbhajan Singh. These are regulars. These are regulars in the team who for some reason or the other, are not there in this squad. Plus, you'll have other personnel who at that time will be in prime form, and you'd want to take form players rather than players who are not in form. So I think there will be a lot of changes as compared to this squad. There'll be a lot of players, from now right up to the World Cup, playing for their places in the World Cup.
Yeah, you make a good point about the experienced and the regulars. But is there something to be said for youth when it comes to the World Cup, or would you rather go with experience because it's a big tournament and nerves play a big part?
I go with the best 15 players. You could be 6 years old or you could be 60. If you're the best player at the moment and you're fit enough, you get into the team. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're going to, when you say youth, are you going to tell me you're going to drop Sachin Tendulkar because he's probably the oldest player in the team? Or again, is that different rules. You've got to go with your best 15 players. He could be 6 years old, he could be 60. I don't really care. If he's fit enough and if he's good enough, he's in the team.
All right, best or if we can put it better still to take your word, form, in-form players. Take the form 15, which could be either or.
No, well, not really. I mean, you've got to take your best players. I mean, form,
reputation or form?
No, not reputation. Form does play a part. I mean, tomorrow, if you've got, just for example's sake, you've got Yuvraj Singh, who on a scale of 10 on form is 8, but you've got someone else who on a scale of form is 9. You'll still go with Yuvraj Singh. But if Yuvraj Singh's form is 2 and someone else is on an 8 or a 9, then you go with someone who's 8 or a 9. But if it's a question of 8 or 9 on the form scale, then you go with the player with experience and who has done it in the past, because he's not that far behind in form and he'll get there. So if the form is really bad of, say, Harbhajan Singh, Yuvraj Singh, then you go with someone who is in prime form.
All right, fair enough. Sanath, you've got one fabulous World Cup medal, but surely you're in line and you're waiting and you're eager to make sure you have another. You personally?
Personally, yes, because I think even the 2007 last World Cup, we missed the finals. We worked really hard as a team, and the whole team did really well up to the finals, but unfortunately we couldn't win the finals. So we in my ODI career, and I came twice into that place. We won one, and 2011 is going to be in Sri Lanka again, in India and also in Bangladesh, and I personally look forward for this World Cup, and to win in Sri Lanka, it's going to be the big achievement in my cricketing career too.
Well, I can certainly vouch for the fact that Sanath works out like a complete demon in the gym. He's absolutely ready for it. Okay, let's just quickly take a look at Sanath's figures over the years. They make very, very pleasing reading, but I'm sure that you too would have liked to do more, but can't argue with this. Wow. Okay. Strike rate, very importantly for limited overs cricket, right up there with the very best, and that's your forte, isn't it, to make sure that you don't waste time there?
Yeah, I think in a 50-over game, game has changed. Even the Test cricket now, it's playing attacking cricket, and it's changed because of this one-day cricket. And I think that's the way you should play. And if individual player is playing his natural game, we always allow you to play that game. In Sri Lanka, that gives you full license to go and play your natural game.
Looking at those stats, everything seemed to be his forte. 2,800, strike rate of 90, 13,000 runs, everything was his forte.
Except for one. You need 12 more runs. You need to get past 200. 201 for you. Next target in 1 day. All right, we're going to very quickly come back to our test match. Rohan, how do you see the second session?
Well, it's like Sanath said, it's going to be hard work for the Indian bowlers because Kumar Sangakkara is set. He's the in-form batsman. Mahela Jayawardene again coming on the back of a big test, 100 in the second test. He's going to be full of confidence. The only thing that the Indians can look forward to is that they've got Mahela Jayawardene who's coming in, who's not yet faced the ball.
That's very, very important.
They've got a bit of a break. They've gone into the dressing room at lunch feeling a lot more happier than they would have if Tilakratne Dilshan hadn't got himself run out. So they're going in feeling a little bit more keyed up. They'll come out with a little bit more energy and a little more bounce in their step. And that, if they get another wicket early on,
then you never know. All right, we're running out of time. Rohan, thanks so much, Sanath. We're going to have to take your comments at tea. But time for us to now rejoin our commentators after the very short break for the second session.